Hot
Mic is
mics.
hot. Your mic is hot.
My mic is hot. It's a hot mic in the city.
Hot mic in the house.
Hot mic in the city. Hey, it's the promo for the Canuck and Yankee show coming up this Sunday, October the 3rd. And we're broadcasting today on the last day of September. It is Truth and Reconciliation Day here in Canada to remember the Indigenous children and people, youth that were taken from their reservations and put on residential schools and have now been, turns out that many of them never left the residential schools alive. And we're going to be covering that somewhat on Sunday, but today is the Truth and Reconciliation Day here in Canada. They're working on making it changes. But the main thing is that they're recognizing that things were very not good. So, about this week's show. What do we got this week, Mr. Yankee? What are we going to
Well,
extrapolate upon?
we've got taking a look at show
Labor
notes, which are
shortage?
not public. Yeah, labor shortage.
Labor shortage?
We got
That
an
is
article
the
out of Canada on that. Yeah.
kind of a big deal with the labor shortage situation. So extreme that in England, they've run out of gas at a number of gas stations.
They're
And
bringing out the army. I don't know how that's going to help, but yeah, they're bringing the army out for the petrol. It's called petrol in the UK. It's not called gasoline.
that's right, petrol. Petrol, then I couldn't get no petrol at the station. It was all bloody out, and I drive all the way home, but I couldn't drive
Couldn't
home because
bloody
I had
get
no
no petrol.
I tell you. Well, that's what they get for driving on the wrong side of the road. No,
Yeah,
I'm just
come
kidding.
on. Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, you got to fix
Okay,
that.
all right. This is a serious economic situation. We cannot be ignoring completely. Awesome in the service industry, food and beverage service industry, particularly hard hit. And there's a bunch of factors that contribute to it. Probably I can think of 5 different factors that are contributing to the current shortage of labor, probably even 6, but I'm not even going to tell you what the 6 are. You're going to have to tune in on Sunday, or you could cheat and watch a repeat of Sunday's show, but I can't. Okay, but there's a bunch of things. It has to do with wages, has to do with a lot of different things. So the labor shortage, we're covering that. We're going to cover a bunch of stories this week. We don't have a super feature. And then we also have a few other nuggets
Well, yeah,
for
we've
you.
got updates
We've got
on Evergrande fallout and power
the
outages.
China. Yeah, the China situation, which we covered extensively last week. For those of you that watched, if you didn't watch it last week, you can probably still catch it somewhere on Rumble has them all, but also on D Live. I think might still be up, or Trovo, or Twitch, or somebody. Anyhow, yeah, the China situation. We covered the um, situation with the woman getting off the extradition charges from the United States and going home, and then at the same exact time, the Canadians that had been held hostage on trumped up charges were sent home at exactly the same time. Also, the AUKUS military pact that's been going on, and also the housing situation. Was it Evergrande? Is that the name of the company, Tim? The
Indeed,
Evergrande.
yes. And
Evergrande.
I've got some news on Zhu, the founder of Evergrande. They bought a soccer
Oh,
team.
really? Mm-hmm.
Done a bunch of things. I'm just going to go briefly over his rise in
I see.
building out Evergrande.
And it's a housing company that got quite large, and one of the main issues that's happening right now is there has a lot of different investors, including a lot of small investors, both overseas, but also a lot of small investors in China that all of a sudden now their investments are gone. And also it's a key in the Chinese housing strategy. So for it to go down exposes the fragility of the housing situation in China. And then we've added a new one for you this week because it just started hitting the radar, but that is the power emergency crisis situation in China that's going on right now, which is shutting down a number of companies and also causing rolling blackouts in residential communities. And the Chinese are not big on shutting their companies down. I think even Apple's been affected in their supply chain, and also Tesla's affected. So this is one of the things about doing business in China, not only the political climate, but also it looks like they're having trouble servicing this huge industrial megaplex. What do you think, Tim? Like the infrastructure doesn't seem to be up to what they've created in a way.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, absolutely phenomenal growth of the past 20, 30 years, and things are breaking at the seams. So
infrastructure, it just has not been up to all of a sudden accommodating these things, and also built into it is they got in a big fit with Australia, which might be one of the reasons Australia is now joined up with the United States and United Kingdom in a military pact, which is pretty much designated to be up against China. But China stopped buying Australian coal, I think 2-3 years ago, and because they didn't like their attitude or something. I'm not sure exactly why they stopped buying their coal.
well,
but that hasn't
they've
helped.
definitely, with all these resources that CCP's been buying out of Australia, they definitely have made some sweetheart long-term. Some of the politicians in Canada, they've sold these resources that are really belong to Australian citizens first.
Mm-hmm.
They've made some long-term deals with China.
Oh, really?
With certain resources. So that's an issue. But that's going to change moving forward. So.
Well, I would imagine it would, and there's really a lot going on with that whole situation. I mean, the reason that we cover China quite a bit on the Canuck and Yankee show, and it's because China has quite an impact on both of the countries, the United States and Canada. And so we got to keep going back to it. If it was another country that had that kind of influence and dynamic, we'd cover it too extensively. So that's the way we do it. We also have a follow-up from the August shows. Might have only been one show, but we covered food quite a bit. And so what I talked about in the August show was projections for harvest was up to no good, essentially, and that it didn't look good, I should say, for the harvest. So now that it's October, we actually know pretty much, or will know, what the harvest projections. That's going to affect food prices and perhaps certain commodities being scarce. So we're going to have a food harvest update, our annual harvest, and it's almost Canadian Thanksgiving too. So we celebrate Thanksgiving on the second Monday of October and get it out of the way because that's when we actually harvest. And I'm not sure why you guys have it at the end of November. I mean, harvest is pretty much over.
Thursday or last Thursday in November. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, harvest has been over for quite a while. Is that? And wasn't it American Thanksgiving? Does that have to do with the Pilgrims or something like that?
I think so. They had a ship or something, and they sailed across the Atlantic or something.
What's the weather like in Massachusetts or wherever they had it in November? It's not very good.
Back then, it'd be pretty brutal. If it wasn't snowing, it'd be a cold rain.
I think it might be like Christmas. Like it's debatable as to why did they have it. Don't tell me it's because it times with shopping blitz and
I don't know. That's something we can look into.
Of the Black Friday. I mean, it's all because they wanted to create a Black Friday, and I bet most people don't know why it's called Black Friday. Do you know why it's called Black Friday?
Well, there's Black Friday. No. You
don't know why because it's supposedly when retail outlets start making so much money for the year that their ledgers go from red ink to black ink.
So many people come onto Walmart and trample each other. That's why.
No, it's when retail enters the black. In other words, enters the black in as much as enters into the profit margin for the year. That's why it's called Black Friday.
It's
I'm
consumer.
serious.
That is consumer-driven marketing. That's very good. It's very
Well,
good.
I worked in retail.
You know.
You worked in retail with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You had the foresight to get the heck out of there after 6 or 8 months. I stayed for 6 or 8 years, but
No, I
you know,
enjoyed my time there selling
I
pro
thought you were
audio
a
gear.
darn good salesperson. I was the manager of the department pro audio for Guitar Center in San Francisco, California. Yeah, ninth in Mission,
It was a
rock and
wonderful
roll,
neighborhood. It was a wonderful
baby.
neighborhood.
That place was a zoo, man. That place was a Guitar Center. But yeah, going back to the sales thing, that's why it's called Black Friday. And sorry, Thanksgiving, whatever. Harvest and time, that's what I started talking about. Sorry, harvest time in the world, and we'll find out about that. And then we got the China, and then
Oh, you're gonna do winter weather projections also after food harvest. Yeah.
yeah, I think we should do winter weather projections just to let you know what of old St. Peter's John's Farmer's Almanac, Poor Richard's
Get out the farmer's
Farmer's Almanac.
almanac. Yeah.
Yeah, and NOAA, NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. It's hard to say. When I first had to say that on radio, I had to practice. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has put out a bulletin. What? Oh, they're kind of cool. Big outfit down in the United States. Yeah, so we thought that'd be kind of cute. Give you some things, and then we're going to be talking about upcoming show topics on the Canuck and Yankee show. We got a bunch of things in October. We're going to be covering shelter. The first week, which would be October 10th, we're going to be covering kind of an overview of the shelter situation. And the second week, we're going to be talking about the difficulties, call it a crisis if you want, of shelter, which has to do with homeless, substandard, costs of housing, and things like that. And also going to be touching on the varied cost of housing in as much as you can buy a house in, say, Detroit, Michigan, for
I was looking at houses in Detroit. You can get one. You can pick one up for certain neighborhoods. Around $10,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
Man,
I
so
might buy one.
100 grand would buy you a pretty decent little spread. I mean, what in New York? What's 100 grand buy you? Like a parking
can't buy
place?
You anything. Can't buy you anything. Anything near New York City. No, and even 100 miles, 150, 200, even 300 miles. 300 miles outside of New York City, I don't think you could. You can't buy anything for 100,000.
A friggin' parking place is probably $100,000.
You could buy a small room where you could barely fit a single bed in for 100,000. Anywhere near the New York City area. Yeah.
Like down in the Bowery or something? Like
maybe in Chinatown or something. Yeah, Bowery, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Bowery.
Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen, Lower
East Side? My grandfather spent some time growing up there. Yeah, I know it well.
Yeah.
I like that area a lot.
I used to live at Houston, off Houston. That's down there someplace.
That's another great spot. Everybody that comes to New York City from the Midwest or whatever calls it Houston Street, but
yeah, Houston Street. Oh, down Houston Street.
It's not Texas.
Boy, they sure got a lot of cockroaches down there. Oh, man, we had more cockroaches in that apartment. Like you go in the bathroom and you turn on the light. Anyway, upcoming shows and housing. And then it turns out, this is a bonus for the Canuck and Yankee show. October has 5 Sundays. So the last Sunday happens to be Halloween. So we're going to do a Halloween sort of feature type thing of like, what the heck is up with Halloween? It ties into a number of different things, like the Day of the Dead, which actually happens a few days after our Halloween. And there's certain pagan things to do with Halloween, a lot of imagery. So, kind of the, and of course in December, we're going to be doing a 1-hour feature on everything that you didn't want to know about Christmas. We want don't let your kids watch our Christmas show unless you told them that there isn't a Santa Claus, because we'll probably not. We'll probably let the cat out of the bag.
Well,
We're
for all of November, we're going to exclusively be not on YouTube.
we're going to
Right
be
now we're streaming on YouTube, but exclusively for November, entire month of November.
We're not gonna
Yeah.
try to do November on YouTube because it's the billionaire bash, and we're gonna basically bash as many of the 2,700 of the world's billionaires as possible. And we've only got a total of about 4 hours, in the whole month that we're on air, maybe 5. So we're not going to get to all of them, but we're going to highlight some of them. Definitely the big ones, and uh, Elon
Elon's
and
Musk,
and
Jeff
and
Bezos, George Soros,
Jeff,
Billy G.
Jeff, the spaceman bozos. Let's go to Mars and live forever. Yeah, right. And and some of the other ones that seem to, it's let's, for one of a better word, fuzzy. Like George Soros it's fuzzy, and Bill Gates is kind of fuzzy. Like what's really going on? And then some of the other ones, and we're looking for good billionaires.
Yeah, if you know someone out of that 2,700 billionaire.
Yeah, if you are a billionaire,
let us know in the chat.
This is really
one we
important.
Haven't heard of.
If you're a billionaire or you know a billionaire, if you're a billionaire, we're reaching out to you. And if you know a billionaire, please tell them about what we're doing. And we want you to come on the show. We'd love to have a billionaire come on the show. And
yeah,
we won't.
Just have a nice
if you come on the show, we're not gonna. Well, we're trying not to bash you, okay? If you come on the show, we'll be like when you have somebody over to your house, and you really want to tell them what you think, but they're a guest at the house, so we'll try to be nice, because But no,
we'll be nice. We'll be nice. Yeah.
Billionaires are welcome, and so that's November, and I think that's going to make history, and we'll probably get sued, and then we'll become famous, and we can get rich and everything, because it's the only way you can get any attention these days is do something horribly wrong, and then everybody pays attention to you, and then you can write a book about it, and then they make a movie, and then you get to go to Hollywood, and then, or else you end up in federal penitentiary or something. I don't know, but that's life in the fast lane of media, which we live.
I just want to mention real quick, going through the notes for this Sunday show, I'm looking at discussing a little bit about Tether, probably the most popular, well-known crypto stablecoin, and its ties to the Evergrande collapse. So that's possible. I'm waiting to see. Between now and Sunday, I'm going to see what else I can find. Story. And then the $3.5 trillion budget spending bill, the raising of the debt ceiling, those are all interrelated.
I know. And the thing is, even though it's an American topic, when anything that is really dynamic that happens in the United States affects Canada directly, especially if it's something economic. And it'd be good to get an update on that.
But this Bizarro, we're looking at Google now delivering drones in Australia. So
that's
definitely
breaking.
Want to cover that, because the Canuck had brought my attention to that, and I wasn't even aware that Google was doing that. So
that's right. Yeah, so we're it's a tech story, and it's also a Bizarro story, because a Raven attacked it and shut down Google, basically shut down the whole friggin' Google thing in Australia. Well, the drone thing, because they got to figure out how to deal with the Ravens now.
Google has to figure out how to keep Ravens from attacking their drones.
Hello, can I talk?
And Google is very smart; they'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, well they'll get their artificial intelligence mojo going. You know, they'll ask Alexa. I say, Alexa, what are we going to do about the Ravens? The Ravens. They were a band popular in Cincinnati during the. No, not them. Okay, no. I don't have Alexa here. I got something on my smart TV. Every once in a while, it tries to talk to me, and I tell it to shut up and go away. Might be Alexa. I don't know.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We've been babbling for 20 minutes, but we went through a lot. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, this Sunday's show is going to be. We're not going to have a main feature. We're just going to be going through past stuff, follow-ups, updates, and it'll be a good show. So check it out this Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific.
Fun. So thanks for watching, and for all you folks on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
And I wanted to
go to Variant.
Yeah, go ahead.
Variant-news.com. Variant-news.com. You'll find all the links that you could ever want.
And I posted the contact URL, which is at variant-news.com. You can contact us there. I put the Rumble link for all the videos. Odyssey, same thing. All our past Canuck shows are up on Odyssey and Rumble. And I posted the Discord link. Please click on it. Let me know that it still works. These Discord server invite links expire, so check that out.
Oh, boy. Yep.
I want to make sure it's still working. And I'm going to say hello to Faking Free 76. Hangs out here a lot on D Live.
Baby.
He's in the chat. He's in the house.
In the house.
And he's hanging out. So
I like hanging out here, too.
That's about it.
You're all welcome to hang out here as much as you want. All right, have a great weekend. I mean, a great
week. Waiting for the weekend.
End of the week, and we'll see you on Sunday, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
see everybody later.